Moffat Andanji had always dreamt of daring abroad. Unfortunately for him, his first two attempts ended in failure. But his luck finally changed when he decided to relocate to South Africa. He is now the CEO of Procet, a freight company based in Johannesburg. This is his story.
Airlines cannot work on themselves because airlines are meant to be in the air. But to be in the air, then they need somebody to fill them up. So we could say we are their backbone, this end. And then they just do the sky work.
Moffat Andanji is a husband and a father of four. He has lived in South Africa for the past 24 years, but his story begins in Kenya. Moffat grew up in Kakamega County. Upon completing his studies, he began his career in clearance and forwarding, but deep down, Moffat knew he wanted to see the world.
I think it's always a dream in most Kenyans of doing something different. And it was always an idea of being out there, not in particular South Africa, but just being out there. But as it turns out, you find where God plans you to be. But I remember my first attempt to be out of Kenya was to USA, and as you know, it's not easy because of bank statements and many other issues. Second attempt was Dubai, but then South Africa was the nearest. It was visa-free then, those years, so it was much easier to come in.
So a persistent Moffat relocated to South Africa in 1994, determined to make it and confident in the skills he had acquired while in Kenya.
Kenyans, I think the training we receive is a bit superior. We look down upon it, but I believe so. So, and we are, I think, most hardworking, some of the most hardworking people in the world. So when we came here, when I came in particular, I found a job after some time.
Moffat worked for the Zambia Consolidated Copper Mines Company under their air freight department for a while, but unfortunately, the company was sold, rendering him jobless. However, he did not take this lying down, and as fate would have it, Moffat was inspired to establish his own freight company.
Basically, freight is one of the major businesses in the world, transportation, so to speak, be it people transportation or cargo transportation. We are in the section of cargo. In that company, I was basically doing their freight. Actually, I was running their air freight portion. They had a lot of road freight also. So I gained, and when I came in from Kenya, that was my background. So I'd gained enough experience locally on how to deal with customs and the rest. So it was the next natural step for me to take, yes.
And with the little savings he had, Moffat established his company, Procet Freight, a shipping company right here in Johannesburg.
We started with very little capital. My first salary was my capital. And my company was in my briefcase with the letterhead, with the rubber stamp, and all that you'll need. That was that.
Moffat further admits that setting up the business was not easy.
Naturally, business grows like a child, grows like a human being, and there are those stages. There are stages where you can't help yourself. You need help from out there. Just like a mother will take care of his child or her child. You need a bank account, maybe you don't have. You need some documentation to do with government, you don't have. You need to do a tender, you don't have this. And you need those relationships around. So I could say I had good people around who really helped us whenever we needed anything. But it wasn't rosy, I believe. For the first 1 month, we didn't do much.
But his determination paid off. In a short period of time, his business grew in leaps and bounds.
Right now, by God's grace, surely we've grown to sustainable levels. And we've birthed so many people who are running also successful companies, who once at a time were working with us. I believe we are in the small to medium company. We're not at large corporation or corporate, but we are there.
So what does his company do exactly?
Airlines cannot work on themselves because airlines are meant to be in the air. Then they need somebody to fill them up by gathering the goods from the suppliers, the factories. It's a whole range of commodities that a specialist then, like us, have to do that before we hand over to the captain and his crew to fly to the next destination. Yeah.
We will find out more on Moffat Andanji's journey right after our Miles Away segment. Our focus on Miles Away today is the Democratic Republic of Congo, one of the countries that Moffat Andanji's company operates. Located in Central Africa, the country is led by President Joseph Kabila. The country has a population of about 78 million people. Its capital and largest city is Kinshasa. Congo is filled with natural beauty. While there, you may want to start with visiting the Kahuzi-Biega National Park, known for its gorilla population. Another scenic place is the Zongo Falls in Congo's Central Province. The country also has a rich culture that is felt especially in their music, which is an infusion of French, Cuban, and African cultures. Known as rumba or lingala, the music is quite popular in Kenya. And that's Miles Away.
We do motor vehicles to East Africa mostly.
Oh, okay.
And
Before the break, we saw Moffat Andanji establish his business, Procet Freight, a cargo shipping company based in Johannesburg, South Africa. Even though it was not originally his intention to start a business, he was able to successfully grow Procet Freight from a small to a medium-sized company.
we got a good number of employees, and we are around 20 right here in this particular office, but then we have various offices in other places, at the airport, and we've got support staff at the ports, Durban, and the rest.
This growth is not only in South Africa, but also cuts across the entire African continent.
We specialize in southern, eastern, and central Africa, parts of Congo, which we consider eastern still, and we are all over. So you'll find that we have maybe so many trucks at any given time, maybe several on the roads in different countries. Some are ours, some are under our management.
Moffat attributes this to the partnerships he's been able to foster since he began his career in freight.
The good thing with freight industry is partnerships. So we work with a lot of partners in different countries. You don't really have to be in the US physically with an office, but you, as much as they don't have also to be in Africa with an office, we partner with them and we do their portion, they do our portion.
And one such partnership that he holds dear is the one Procet Freight has with Kenya Airways.
We are one of their major supporters, and we do a lot with them, especially into Africa, where they are strong. In air freight, we are time conscious. I will only send air freight because it's time sensitive in most cases. You want the shortest period to connect. So we've got a fantastic relationship with them.
Despite all the success, Moffat has also faced a number of challenges, from a lack of adequate storage space for the cargo, a drop in business after the festive seasons, to theft and break-ins in his facility. However, Moffat does not let this slow him down.
There's no simple business. None. I've talked to people in other sectors, and none of them tells me his business is easy. But you have to overcome challenges.
So what motivates him to keep going even when he faces hardship?
You always remember where you came from. Always remember the people you came from. So that's what drives a person. You need to give them the best. You need to give your family the best.
Moffat also adds that his experience running his business in South Africa has positively influenced his character.
Having been born the other end and lived here for so long, I'm able then to give better advice, be it to a new manager coming to South Africa from Kenya ways, be it to South African investing in Kenya. I'm able to give them, or rather our company is able to give them advice on both ends.
And this is the advice he has for anyone thinking of starting a business on our Diaspora Bite.
I believe there's, in any business, there's the mass market and there's the niche market. And if you were to land at a place where people are already doing that business, it wouldn't be good to join the mass part of it. My advice would be you do something in relation to what you went to school for. It gives you an advantage.
Moffat's determination resulted in him establishing a company by accident, an accident that he says he does not regret. He further encourages all Kenyans to get out of their comfort zones and promises that they will be surprised with how equipped and resilient they are. Until next time, I'm Michael Zimaji.